Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. It's Duncan here, and today we're going to see if we can recreate the iconic guitar tone from Matt Bellamy of Muse using just a Revalver 5 plugin from HeadRush. Right, so to get started, we're going to be taking a look at a few Muse tracks across this video, and more specifically, how to create the general Matt Bellamy guitar tone that should help you achieve the majority of his songs. Guitar-wise, we know that Matt Bellamy uses a Manson T-type guitar, which has a humbucker in the bridge and a P90 in the neck. For the sake of this video, we're going to be using my trusty Charvel, which has high output humbuckers, but honestly, any guitar with humbuckers will get you somewhat close to this tone when using these preset patches. So with that in mind, let's open up a fresh instance of Revalver 5 and start diving into some tones. So first off, let's take a look at dissecting those guitar amps. When doing some research on what amps Matt Bellamy currently uses, I couldn't really find a definitive answer. What I could find though is that he has used and currently uses a blend of a Vox AC30, some vintage and modern Marshalls, and perhaps even a diesel VH4. With this in mind, I wanted to see what I could come up with when using a few different amp models within Revalver 5 that I haven't yet used in previous styling of videos. So first up, I have my splitter tool down the bottom, which allows me to use two amps simultaneously in Revalver 5, or I can have them panned left and right. And for this tone patch, I'm going to be using something a little bit different. I'm using the ACT combo, and what I've done is I've loaded in the Friedman BE100 amp clone from Revalver 5. So basically I have this amp doing the main bulk of our gain staging, while tonally giving us a kind of vintage Marshall modded plexi sound. All the EQ settings and everything like that have been left the same as what the capture intended, and it should sound a little bit like this. Next up, on the other side, I have this MS30, which is modeled off the 1993 matchless DC30. This amp was actually a great addition when running two amps simultaneously, as this amp is a little bit more mid-range and it's got a little bit more kind of sparkle to it, so it works really great to add some clarity when running it alongside the Friedman. Settings wise, I've kept everything fairly standard as it loaded in, but what I've done is I've actually just pushed the gain stage and the master just a little bit more. Honestly, this amp is really great if you just want a great classic rock kind of tone, but it's really great for clarity if you're running dual amp setup as well. On its own, this is what the amp should sound like. So even though that sounded quite nice on its own, when you run them together, that's when the magic really happens. Honestly, if you're not even a Muse fan, just having the Friedman and then this MS-30 together, it's great for any kind of classic rock sound. And this is what they both sound like together. Right, so in front of the amp we have quite a few things going on here. The first off is just a noise gate, and the one which we've got here is we've got this one which is modeled off the Rocktron Hush. It's a really nice sounding gate, and honestly we're just activating it because we've got a couple of gain pedals before the amp, so it's just cleaning up a lot of unwanted noise that we might get from the guitar. Next up we've got this Greener TS808, which honestly there's no guessing what the pedal is, but I can't do a dialing in video without using it. It's just a great mid-range boost, and honestly the way I've got it set with no overdrive and a bit of level, it's just great for kind of tightening up your overall guitar tone. Next we've actually got one of the most important pedals I found when trying to get that Matt Bellamy guitar tone, which is a fuzz. For this I didn't really want a overly fuzzy guitar tone. Honestly I was going for more of like a chewy sound when you're doing those big open notes and open strings style riffs. So what I've got here is I've got the fuzz dialed all the way back, and I'm just blending it in with the volume control, and it gives a nice kind of like chewy sound to the overall kind of like big riffs of Matt Bellamy. And last up I've got this compressor pedal on the end. Now honestly when I added this on, it actually cleaned up a lot of that fuzzy tone, which was maybe a little bit too oversaturated beforehand. So I'm really just doing a bit of light compression over here, but it really just helped tighten up all of those pedals before going into the amp. Behind the amp is actually quite simple. What I've got first here is I've got a EQ pedal. Now I'm only reusing this EQ pedal on one song, which is Supermassive Black Hole. And what I did here is I did a really harsh mid scoop on the EQ. Now what I was trying to simulate was I was trying to get a almost dying battery sound out of our fuzz. So by scooping a lot of this mid range, it really kind of broke up a lot of that fuzz tone which we got from the front end of the amplifier, and really kind of helped achieve that Supermassive Black Hole intro tone. I've also got this air delay just lightly mixed into the back of our amplifier. Now this is just adding some kind of very subtle ambient texture to the back of our guitar track, but honestly I use this more for nicer Cydonia, Hysteria and Psycho. So there we have it. That was a quick rundown of how to achieve Matt Bellamy's guitar tone from Muse using just the Revalver 5 plugin from HeadRush. If you'd like to have a go yourself, then you can find the link to the free version of Revalver 5 in the description below, along with the download links to our preset packs that were featured in this video. If you like this video, then make sure you comment, like and subscribe. We've got plenty more tonal challenges on the way. I've been Duncan, and as always, I'll see you all in the next one.